Happy Saturday, Connect fam, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Connect Network TV. I'm your host, Stitches, with my fabulous queen co-host, Sandy Glant. She is finally back after a long summer. Hey, Sandy.
Hello. It's so good to be back.
Good to see you, love. And of course, you know, Sandy, our girl Wendy is off for today, but she will be back next week. But tell me the things. What's going on? How you been?
Oh my goodness, we are back full swing in school mode, work mode. I mean, summer was like packed. You know, it was packed with travel, packed with family, packed with business, packed with events and speaking. So it was definitely a summer to remember.
It was a lot. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. And like Absolutely. I said, we're always glad to have you back, Sandy. And we're excited to be here today, Connect Fam, because like we said, we're diving into something that everyone is talking about, content creation. And who better to talk about this than the one and only Sandy, who just hosted an amazing content creation event last weekend. So Sandy, how was it? How are you feeling after it? And I know it was an incredible event, but give us all the things.
Yeah. So, okay. I love doing these content days because I think for a lot of women, they get timid or really shy, or they don't know what to say when the camera comes out. It's like you have all these amazing ideas, but all of a sudden lights, camera, action, and they freeze out. So why I love this is because I prep my ladies inside my High Performance Academy, and we talk about topics that their clients want to hear from them, right? Like those pain points, those sticky pain points that their clients need to hear. And if they're just putting content out that's, you know, not landing, not resonating, then you're just wasting your time. So the ladies had such a fun day. What I love most about this, it's networking, but it's also content creation. So it's really fun to bring them together. We do this in just a few hours, and they walk away with a few months worth of content that they can utilize and repurpose and use across all their channels.
I love it. And collaborating is actually collaborating content, right? So
Yes, absolutely. And I think also, like, you know, when you get outside your day-to-day, like for me, I work from home. A lot of these women, they're their own business owners. You're outside of your own studio, you're outside of your own head, really. And you get amazing ideas when you get together with other women.
I love that. Cheers to you. Let's give it a tap, tap, tap. But here's the thing. The world of content creation is big, right? And it's not just one size fits all. So you can jump into it with your strengths and still create amazing content. So Sandy, let's help our viewers out truly. What's the first thing you'd say to someone who's like really wanting to create, but they don't know where to start, like you said earlier?
Yeah, so I would pick your pillars. Pick 3 pillars that you want to speak to, 3 pillars of content that you want to speak to. So whatever that might be, maybe you're talking to working moms. I'm just going to go with my own content here because that's what I'm most familiar with. Maybe it's the work-life wellness. Maybe it's time management. I mean, it really doesn't matter what those pillars are. There's no set pillars, but what are those 3 pillars? And then break down the pain points. And that's really going to help you strategize those content days, because we don't want to waste that time. Again, you have your camera, you have your hair, your makeup, everything's done, your clothing, your outfit changes. So to really utilize and get the best use of that time, go in with a plan, know your pillars, know what content that you're speaking on. And also, like, personally, I don't like to stick to a script, because I think it's way more authentic and genuine when you can have kind of bullet points that you can speak to and let it roll, and then let the editors figure out how to piece it all together.
Thank you for sharing that, Sandy. And did you know that over 50 million people around the world really consider themselves content creators, but only 2 million are actually making a living from it? So the rest, they're experimenting, I guess you could say learning, and just doing it for the love of sharing. And, you know, I guess that's fine, right? But I want to ask you, Sandy, if everyone's not monetizing from it, what is the advantage? Why do it?
Yeah, well, if you look at those stats, 50 million people are creating and only 2 million are actually monetizing. That is a huge gap. That is 48 million people who are just dancing on TikTok or doing their content, putting it out there, and they're not monetizing. So I would say you got to get a plan, because if you don't know how to grow your audience, if you don't know how to build a list from it, if you don't know how to turn those viewers into converting that into an audience, and people that are going to know who you are, like what you have to say, and like what you're doing, then want to work with you, you're just kind of wasting your time. So look, I am such a huge advocate on time management and figuring out how to make the most out of your time. So I would say for those 48 million people who are just kind of putting out content, figure out a plan and figure out a strategy and figure out how to monetize. Because if you're not doing that right now, you probably don't know how. So align yourself with someone that can show you how to take this same exact time that you're putting into making that content and turn it into something that you can monetize that's going to be worth the time that you're investing in your lighting, your dances, your products, your services, what it is that you're doing, because it's possible. You just don't know how to do it. But I promise you, this is what I teach my clients. There are ways to do this with no more time than you're already spending.
I love that. And I can remember, I don't know if you remember, Sandy, we had a guest a few months ago who was an engineer and well-to-do, smart, all the things, but she found out that after posting that she could monetize from her social media and stopped actually doing her engineering thing, but ended up creating a product. I think it was a gummy product for vitamins. So she then became doing great things. So just to show that, you try it and then it works, but I'm sure she came up with a plan once she saw that she could monetize from it. So the engineering still came into play. Just had to share that. So I want to ask, those were great tips that you shared, Sandy. Thank you so much. So after you have your pillars, like you said, PYP is what I pick your pillars, you said, your scripts, your strategy, but maybe you're still a bit timid and a bit shy and you don't know really how to get in front of the camera. What content is best for someone like that to really get started, just to get out there?
Okay, so I'm going to give you two pieces of advice. One, you can start implementing right now, and the other one is something that you're going to add to your tool belt. Okay, so the first one is you got to take it off of you, right? Like the fear of doing something. If you have a product or service that's going to help someone, you've got to take your own, I hate to say it, but your own emotion out of the equation and just know that you putting yourself out there is going to help someone else. If you believe that the product or the service that you have can help to change someone's life, then you've got to put it out there. And the second thing is, so number one is don't be scared, just do it, go for it, face the fear and do it anyway. It's what I tell my kids. And number two, there's a great app. And also there's the one that I'm going to give you is great, but there's so many others. It's called Big View. And if you haven't heard it before, Big View is like a teleprompter that you can use on your phone. Now you can set it up. It's essentially like looking at the camera, but there's the script that goes across the screen. Again, I'm not a huge person. I'm not a huge, advocate of the scripts, because I think if you mess up one word, you kind of throw yourself completely off. So I would say, know what your bullet points are. If you're the expert in your industry, don't worry about scripting every single word. Give yourself bullet points. But if you really need that extra push, check out Big View, because you can start using the scripts, getting comfortable. And really, if you kind of want to give yourself that extra advantage, start recording yourself and then have somebody else edit it. And that way, even if you mess up a word or you kind of stumble over a word, there's going to be editing anyway. And the end version of that will turn out great.
See, this is great information, Sandy, and it's free. Connect fam. Hello.
Right.
I does have an academy that you do got to pay for, but she's dropping these gems for free. And thank you so much for doing that. So where can and how can people connect with you? Talk about the academy. How can they tap into that?
Yeah, so it's called the High Performance Academy, and I'm a mom of two boys. I'm running a business. We're traveling all over the world. So I am not in my business 8 hours a day. So what I do is I show my clients how to maximize the time that they have with only 2, 4, 6 hours a day, but squeeze all the juice out of the content, all the strategies, all the systems, so your business is working even when you're not. So you can find me and check me out on Instagram at Sandy Glant, or if you head over to my website, it is sandraglant.com/academy. And you can come join us and get all this juicy content and all the tips and strategies every single week.
I love it. Ladies, this is your tap. Start creating content. If you've heard it twice, this is the third. Create the content. If you heard it for the first time, create the content. And start small, baby steps, each day at a time, yeah? And you don't have to create a 30-minute documentary a day. Like, you don't have to do that. Post a 15-second video sharing one thing that you're passionate about. Talk about authenticity. You'll get more comfortable as you go. And guess what? Your audience will grow with you as you grow as well. And people love that Cinderella story where you can grow and see, I remember when so-and-so was, and now they're so-and-so and so. So keep going and do it. Do it. Just, can we say it together? 1, 2, 3. Do it.
I was like, just do it.
Can't pay enough for that content, but okay. Don't go anywhere. Connect. We'll be right back. We got an exciting guest, Jessica Cherry, alongside Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, an incredible immigration lawyer and mom based in Austin. You will not want to miss out on this. Trust me. Stay right where you are.
Stigma surrounding mental health holding you back from reaching out? Hi, I'm Marnie Goldman, CEO of Fabulously Flawed. With my lived traumatic experiences and training, I know what it takes to turn challenges into triumphs. We offer personalized empowerment coaching and inspirational speaking to help you break free from the mental health stigmas. Join us at Fabulously Flawed and let's walk the path to resilience together. Visit my website for more information and follow us on social media for your daily dose of motivation.
Welcome back to the Connect Network TV. Today, we're diving in with the one and only Jessica Cherry alongside the amazing Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch. They'll be talking about why immigration matters, some key challenges, and so much more. Jess, what do you have for us today?
Yes, Sandy. So, Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch is the founder and owner of Lincoln-Goldfinch Law, an award-winning immigration law firm headquartered in Austin, Texas. Kate's firm handles family-based immigration, deportation defense, citizenship, and naturalization. Kate and her team have helped over 10,000 families achieve their American dream and provide compassionate, personalized service to her client. She is an expert in her field and has appeared in renowned news platforms such as NBC, BBC, MSNBC, The New York Times, Fox News, and National Public Radio. She's also a contributing writer and has recently launched Law Moms, Juggling Motherhood, Ambition, and Personal Fulfillment with other powerful women attorneys. And in addition, she's raising her children with her husband, Josh. Welcome to the show, Kate. I am so incredibly honored to have you.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here. It's so exciting.
So tell me, immigration law is such an impactful professional career choice. What inspired you to get into immigration law?
I kind of fell into it. I went to law school at the University of Texas, and one of the features of UT Law is you can sign up for clinics where you can practice being a lawyer and actually have clients. And I speak Spanish, and I wanted to use my Spanish. And I heard that the immigration clinic was a good one. And this was in the mid 2000s. And my first assignment as a law student attorney was to go to a detention center nearby and to conduct an intake with a family of asylum seekers. And they were detained, in this detention center. I didn't know really anything about what I was about to confront. And I got there and I met this family. It was a mother, a father, and a little baby from Iraq. And they were all in prison uniforms. And the baby had this prison onesie. And her mom asked me if I would hold her baby while we were talking because I smelled like the outside world. And at the end of the interview, she asked me if I could sneak her baby out with me so that I could, until they could get out of this place. And I remember going home that night and I just cried because it was the first time I confronted the reality of immigration treatment and policy in our country, when prior to that, I really believed in what we had on the Statue of Liberty. So I got to take that family's case and win their asylum case. And from then on, I was just hooked. It was the best feeling ever. And since then, I've gone through so many iterations of different policies and difficult policies being an immigration lawyer in Texas. And I've never once regretted the choice to go into immigration law.
What proactive steps can families take to ensure their safety and security, especially in cases where deportation is a concern?
Right now, it's really important for immigrants to understand how to protect themselves. This is something that I talk to my clients about a lot, especially in states like Texas, where I live, where we have laws that allow police officers to question people about immigration status. And the number one thing for immigrants and really anyone living in this country is to understand your rights and to know how to stand up for yourself when you're having interaction with somebody official. It might be a police officer, it might be an immigration agent, but we have constitutional protections against search and seizure. We have protections to remain silent if we're being interrogated or ask questions about our immigration status. And it's really hard in these moments that are terrifying to maintain your own rights.
Wow, definitely great points. How do you manage the balance in such a demanding career of an immigration attorney with the responsibilities of motherhood and personal time? It seems that this is so impactful.
You know, this is something I think about and talk about a lot with all my friends. And the honest truth is I don't. I mean, I think balance is a myth for working moms, professional moms in stressful jobs. And we're always aiming to rebalance, and something is always losing. I honestly, you know, our mothering, our self-care, our work, it's almost never perfectly balanced. But my recipe has been having a supportive husband who shares workload. It certainly helps me to lean on my community and have my parents who are involved and friends who love my children. And the last thing that I'll say, which is something that I think is less talked about, is that if you have the capacity or the ability to help, find help and pay for help in your home, whether that be, helping keep your house clean or helping care for your children or thinking about food and food prep and meal planning. There are lots of services out there and people who provide support to families that are working hard. And I think sometimes we give ourselves a hard time as moms, as working moms, like, oh, that's a waste of money or I shouldn't do that. But honestly, when you invest in buying yourself some space and time, it turns you, in my experience, it turns you into a better mother and a better lawyer. And it's a wise investment, even though it does cost money.
Yes. And speaking of moms, I read your book, your incredible chapter in the Law Moms book, which you can buy on Amazon, by the way. And your writing shook me. The infant in the prison onesie, the Calgon take me away throwback, your term anxiety, reuniting 40 mothers with their children over one summer, all made for a very emotional, impactful read. You express your vulnerability as a warmth and as a strength. I thought about your chapter days after, and it opened my eyes to things that we don't see every day. Your practice and your life's mission are so deeply rooted in family advocacy. How do you manage the emotional intensity of your work while not becoming overwhelmed with the emotional factor of it all personally?
It's a balance. I would not say I've, achieved success in this area. And for example, during the summer of the family separations, I was working directly with moms who had their children taken from them, literally ripped out of their arms, and they didn't know where they were and they hadn't spoken to them in weeks or even months in some cases. And I was a young mother at that point. My kids were very young, and I saw my own children and all of their stories. And that was really hard to maintain sort of any sense of normalcy over that period of time. But in general, my philosophy and my approach, and I've learned this over the decades, is to only take responsibility for the little sliver of time that I overlap with somebody else's life. Because I think it's so easy, those of us who are in social work or we're helping people, when we talk to someone and they've had a difficult past and they may even have a pretty difficult future ahead of them, and we know that, it's really easy to take the load for all of that, to think about how hard it's been or how hard it's going to be. But in reality, we're only helping them today with this one thing, and the rest of that is not ours to carry. And so learning that, for me, setting down the past and the future for my clients and only doing the thing that I'm here to help them with right now, and then literally giving them their lives, their own lives. These people are so impressive. They've gone through so much. I mean, to imagine what a lot of my clients have gone through, the fortitude and the strength that they have, and like the hubris for me to think that I'm going to solve the rest of their problems for them, that would be absurd. And so just narrowing my focus and the weight of my responsibility takes a pretty big burden off my shoulders.
Wow, excellent information today, Kate. How can our viewers find you, follow you, and contact you?
Sure. So my last name is difficult for native Spanish speakers who prefer Spanish, Lincoln-Goldfinch. If you're an English speaker, that's my name. You can find me in all the places, Lincoln like the president, Goldfinch like the bird. If you prefer Spanish, Abogada Kate in a Google search will take you to my page, which takes you to all of the content. And I do bilingual content, and I try to keep people really up to speed on policy changes. And so like within the hour, if there's a court decision, I've done a video about it. So anybody who wants to stay up to speed, give me a follow.
Thanks, Kate. What a fantastic segment. I cannot wait to be back next month with even more on She Will Empower right here on the Connect Network TV on the CW. Keep up with me at Life of a Cherry Wife and She Will Empower. Standy Stitches, right back to you.
Whoa, ladies, that was truly an incredible conversation today. And Sandy, we covered a lot, so much, from the importance of immigration to the challenges and solutions in today's world. Coming up after the break, our top 5 AI tools you must incorporate into your business. Trust me, it's a lot of gems here for free. Don't move.
Kate McGuire, the founder of Converted Closet on Instagram. And if you like original clothes and would like to get the most out of your wardrobe, follow me for inspiration on Instagram and I'll show you how. You'll never look back. You're watching the Connect Network TV.
Before we go, we've got to tap into our segment, Social Media Uncensored. And today it's all about digital transformation and AI adoption. So many businesses are leveraging new technologies to enhance their operations and stay competitive. From automating processes, I love it, to gathering insights, AI is shaking things up.
And did you know that according to recent studies, over 90% of leading businesses are already using AI in some form? I went to a gala this past weekend, and the intro of the video for the award ceremony was actually an AI like an AI.
I believe it.
I was like, she's fabulous, but okay. But there's still a lot of hesitation around fully adopting this. So I know you utilize this, Sandy. What do you think are some of the reasons people might be hesitant to jump on board right away?
Well, I mean, I think there's 2 things. I think number 1, it's so new. It's like when a new app comes out or a new iPhone comes out, I think people are hesitant to jump right on it because it hasn't been proven yet, right? And so they're kind of waiting to see, is it going to stay? Is it going to go? Is it going to fizzle out? It's like, how is it actually going to work? And I think the second component is that there is a piece of it that I've heard personally. I don't believe this to be true, but there's not a human touch to it because it is AI. Well, it is what you make it, right? So it's like, if you're using AI in your business, it's not a copy paste solution. You're using it to find different strategies, solutions, automations to free up your time, to make your life easier. I mean, my team and I use this every single day. And that's such a huge part of the reason why we have things that we can delegate and outsource and free up our time. So I think that number 1, like, don't be scared of it, but also number 2, use it in a way that feels right to you and don't feel like you have to use every single thing all at once. Find something, see how it works for you, and kind of adjust as you go.
I like it. And absolutely, Sandy. And the truth is, AI can help businesses of any size streamline tasks like customer service with chatbots, or even really improve marketing through better data analysis. But I will agree there is a human touch that AI can't fully engage in, because even when I was at the gala, there was such a monotone that I tapped out. I was like,
yeah.
but I'm over it. But there are ways that you can use it to monetize on it. And like you said, to save your time and manpower. And speaking of chatbots, let's switch back to that. Before we go, let's talk ManyChat. So Sandy, you are utilizing this service. Tell us, how has it helped you, and is it worth it?
Okay, so I love this. I absolutely love it. ManyChat is something that my team and I have been using, gosh, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, maybe longer. I don't even know how long we've been using it, but it is so amazing for helping to grow your audience, for helping to nurture your audience, for bringing new people into your community. If you are someone who has a product or service and you're not using it, and I don't even get paid to say this, but I just love it that much, so I'm talking about it. It is a must-have in your business. And like I said, whether you're nurturing, whether it's a lead gen, it's something, I believe it's a non-negotiable at this point. And for me, having AI like this in my business allows me to connect with people that on a deeper level that I personally wouldn't be able to have those touch points on every single person. Now, does it allow me to get there at some point in the business? Yes. But to kind of open up and have that wide net at the top, AI is a tool, and ManyChat, using ManyChat is an AI tool, but using that, to our benefit to save so much time and to connect with all the people that, come into the ecosystem is such a game changer.
So Sandy, because you're so proficient in using these apps and these AI services, and I'm sure you incorporate it, like you said, while you're in the academy and people are entering, how can people enter the academy and how can they connect with you?
Yes. So this is one of the things I love helping my clients with, because I'm all about working smarter, not harder, saving you that time and the energy, and also, frankly, the frustration that can come along with trying to figure this all out. So you don't have to do that. You get to simplify the process in all of your systems because we will show you how to do it. So you can check out sandraglant.com/academy, or you can send me a DM over on IG or social at Sandy Glant. We can chat all about the academy and how it can help you.
Cheers. That deserves a tap, tap, tap. That's all we have for today, Connect Fam. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to step into your home and your humble abode and spending time with you. We hope this truly inspired you to stay informed and engaged in these important conversations and really staying up to date. And we call them TBCs, table cocktail conversations, TCCs, table cocktail conversations. So if you need something to talk about, here's good stuff. And tap into our IG, connect with us, and share more at Connect Network TV. Don't forget at the Connect Network TV.
That's right, Stitch. And a huge thank you to Jessica Cherry and Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch for sharing their expertise and passion with us. Again, follow them on Instagram, Life of a Cherry Wife, love that, Attorney Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, and TikTok at Attorney KLG. In the meantime, keep up with me at Sandy Glant. And Stitches, where can they find you?
Pero yes, you can follow me, STICHIZ Stitches.com, and follow me on IG, everything Stitches. And if you're in Canada, you happen to tune into Sportsnet, you might hear a familiar voice, and also on various iHeartRadio platforms. So tap in, we're here. And thank you so much, Connect Fam. God bless, stay beautiful. Tell someone you love them while they can hear it and receive it. If you didn't hear it all day, help me out, Sandy. Love you for free. Ooh, ooh.
Love you.